My name is Brittany Gomez. I work for the Winston-Salem Police Department in our evidence management section. We maintain property for the Winston-Salem Police Department and Forsyth County Sheriff's Office. We store found property as well as evidence from a crime. We have property for a myriad of reasons, and a lot of that property is maintained for a trial or for investigation, but at some point that property is often eligible to be returned to an owner. We can return property one of two ways. We either are presented with a court order that's signed by a judge authorizing us to release that property to a named owner, or we may have the case officer's authorization to return that property. Without one of those two authorizations, we just maintain custody until we are given the authorization to return it. Most property is eligible to be returned pretty simply. You can come to our facility by making an appointment and we will release that property to you. Typically, we'll ask for a copy of your photo ID and then we'll have you sign for the property and you'll be on your way. We are located at 1200 North Patterson Avenue. When you come into our drive to get to our side of the building, you'll take your first immediate right into a parking lot and you'll come to the center door. It is the only door painted blue and it's the only door under an awning. We have a doorbell to the left of the door. You'll just push that button and we can interact with you through the intercom system. There are a couple of items that take a little bit more time and a little bit more paperwork. One of those is a firearm. Firearms are something that we will require an application, and the citizen can find that application on our website at www.wspd.org. In the search bar, you can just type firearm application and it'll be the first document that is returned in the results. It's a 2-page document. We ask that you fill that out, one per firearm. So if you're getting multiple firearms returned, then you would fill out multiple forms. And those forms are returned to us. We get that copy of your photo ID, and then we put you in a background check process. And once that background is complete, if everything looks good and there are no disqualifiers for the citizen, then we will call you to set up an appointment to pick up that firearm. If there is an issue with the background, then we'll call and discuss that with you as well. The second item that can take a little bit more time is cash. We do not keep cash here in our facility, and so we have to request a check through City Finance, and so that process can take additional time. So if you have been authorized to have money returned to you, we still want you to call us because we still want to initiate that request for check process, but just understand it could take some time. If you have other property to be released, like a cell phone or any other items, then we would be happy to return those to you, but then maybe make an appointment later to get that check. Or you can do it all at once, whatever's convenient for you. We release property to our citizens on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and so that's when we would ask you to make an appointment. Even if you're just dropping paperwork off, we would want an appointment scheduled so we can make sure that we have everything prepared for you. If it's something that is a gas-powered equipment, so a vehicle, it could be a lawnmower or a moped, a motorcycle, those items we release on Fridays. They are not kept here on site, so we would want to have you make an appointment on a Friday to get that item returned. There are some items that do require fees to be paid before it can be released. Sometimes firearms that are seized pursuant to a domestic violence protective order do require fees to be paid before they are returned. And the other item would be a vehicle. Some of those vehicles are towed, and so we have to charge those fees for the towing fee. We only accept exact change cash, so we don't have a debit card or credit card reader, and we don't have the ability to make change, so we would need the citizen to bring us exact change cash when paying fees. There are both federal and state disqualifiers for possessing firearms. One of the most common ones is a convicted felon. If you have been convicted of a felony, then you probably will not be able to possess a firearm. But there are other disqualifiers at the federal level. Some of those include being dishonorably discharged from the military, certain convictions for domestic violence crimes. There are also crimes that can disqualify a citizen for a period of time, not indefinitely. Some of those involve drug possession charges and convictions. Also, if you are on probation, whether it's supervised or unsupervised, that will disqualify a citizen from possessing a firearm until that probation period has ended. If you know that we have some of your property here in evidence, but it hasn't been authorized to be returned to you, we would recommend that you either speak to an attorney if you are represented by legal counsel or the case officer. We're happy to provide that information to you with a report number or a contact number for that officer, or reach out to your attorney if you have one to petition the court to have those items returned to you via a court order. We do require a citizen to bring us a form of ID, a photo ID. So it could be a driver's license, it could be a state issued, DMV issued photo ID, it could also be a passport. We can take any of those items of identification. If you find that you are trying to collect property from someone who is deceased, then there may be additional paperwork that we will require based on how the items have been authorized to be returned. If it's in the estate of that decedent, then there are additional papers that we would require. An example would be letters of administration, letters of testamentary, estate paperwork, any executor of the estate paperwork. That will aid us in the return of those items to a specific family member or next of kin in those situations. In order to make an appointment, please call us. We have a public line that we answer every day, Monday through Friday, starting at 8 a.m. That number is 336-726-7285. And we are busy and we are always releasing property and answering the phones. If you don't get us on the first call, please call again and we will try and help you as much as we can.